Hello, friends. It's Carla, your online doctor, with today's Live in 5. Today is Tuesday, September 8th at 5 p.m. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and weren't out at the beaches in the mass crowds that they have been showing on social media and television. Not going to go there. Okay, so research is increasingly showing how many more infections of coronavirus exist in areas affected by air pollution. The research goes back to 2003 when scientists found people exposed to high air pollution levels were twice as likely to die from SARS, one of the other coronavirus outbreaks, as those with less exposure. So basically it was an 8.9% mortality in high pollution areas compared to 4.08% in areas without high air pollution. That is statistically significant. Okay, researchers have since dug deeper into why air pollution may increase your death risk and specifically looked at COVID-19. A recent study looked at 3 cell receptors in the lungs that the virus uses as entryways. So we know about the ACE2 receptor, and there's also 2 others, the DC sign and the L sign. Now, ACE2 helps regulate blood pressure, and the other 2 support the immune system responses to disease. Researchers found the lungs of smokers' ACE2 receptors were more vulnerable to infection by COVID-19. The damage to lung tissue in smokers is very similar to people who have breathed air pollution for long periods of time. So that's a very interesting thing to see. Now, a 2019 study in the Journal of the American Medical Association, so a very well-respected journal, found regular exposure to pollutants like ozone was like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day in terms of how ozone damages lung tissue. Now, researchers at Harvard looked at COVID-19 deaths and average PM2.5 pollution scores in over 3,000 U.S. countries. Now, the PM2.5 refers to the atmospheric particulate matter that have a diameter of less than 2.5 micrometers. So basically the little tiny particles that can get into your lungs and wreak havoc. Okay, so this is a scale that is very well known when they're talking about air pollution. I didn't know about this. It's something I just learned. Now, they found that a PM2.5 increase of 1 microgram per meter squared basically increases the risk of death or severe infection by 8%. Okay, so that doesn't sound like a lot, right? It goes up 1 microgram per cubic meter, and it's an increased risk of severe infection or death by 8%. Now, in China, if the PM2.5 increased by 10 micrograms per meter cube, so that's 10 times as much, even for 1 single day, the number of cases of COVID-19 increased over the coming days and up to 2 weeks. Okay, so again, air pollution is not the only factor, but that's what they were looking at. And the number of cases would increase significantly over the coming weeks after that spike in air pollution. Now, in the Netherlands, they found for every 20% rise in air pollution, COVID-19 cases could rise by 100%. That's very, very big. Now, these studies did not take into account any pre-existing conditions or other risk factors. They were simply looking at air pollution. So, is it a perfect study? No, but it definitely makes you think, right? Now, in Italy, researchers looked into the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 in cities throughout the country. The analysis was the death rate in the northern cities was about 12% compared to about 4% elsewhere in the country. And the link, air pollution in northern Italy is some of the highest in Europe. Now, a study done in 2013 found wildfire smoke can make it harder for your body to fight viral infections for about 1 week after exposure. Okay, so adding all of these things to your lungs impairs your lungs' ability to do its proper job. Now, throughout the world, much air pollution disproportionately affects poorer communities, further exacerbating the impact of COVID-19 in those areas. So, are we likely to see, as we look back, that major cities had higher number of cases? Well, of course we are, because major cities have a higher population as well. So they're going to have to really dig in and look at the different cities based on their air pollution to see how impactful this really was or is. But clearly, it makes you say to yourself, yes, you want to be outdoors, but you ideally want to be outdoors in an area where there is not heavy air pollution. So if you're living someplace like that, uh, definitely get yourself a nice air purifier for your home so that you can have better air quality inside your home, because there's not much you can do for outside of your home other than move. And again, right now, that's a daunting task for many. So, on that note, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. And again, as I said, had an awesome weekend. And I will see you again tomorrow for another Live in 5.